Yeah.
There was one time that there was a really cute waitress.
We are live now.
In
So you know.
quotations.
Okay.
Really cute waitress in quotations.
All right.
He was like, no, she's really cute. Do you think she's single? And I was like, I mean, you could ask. It, waitress in quotations comes over, asks us what we want to drink. And he was like, Pepsi, what's your name, by the way? And just, it was like Mark or something. Just started busting out laughing because our waitress was a waiter. And he was like, I had no clue. I thought it was a woman.
That's what you get for assumptions, I suppose.
But to be fair, he was very cute.
Hey, you know, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you got like, oh, hello there. You have entered the battle phase. It is I, the Midnight Bard, your favorite bard. And I have challenged Dare to see which one of us can eat the most amount of atomic flavored wings from Wingstop and keep them down.
Can you eat too?
Probably not. Joining me as always is Dare, who challenges me to eat too.
I can maybe eat one. So if you got two, you win.
I think I've tried the atomic flavor once before, and I remember I was well into 4 because the flavor the heat doesn't hit you right away. So I was well into 4 thinking to myself, what's the big deal? And then like suddenly it all hits me all at once, and I was like, oh god, this sucks. So yeah,
I did the beat up challenge on my Captain Flavor, that is.
Well, I have no idea. Like, I guess, I suppose, if it's... I've never tried to eat them, so I couldn't tell you. But, I mean, I would imagine that most wing places have something that's still popular.
I just feel
Oh, that is...
it was bad.
That is something.
And the wings didn't even taste that good.
No.
Like, the best wings I've had from Wingstop B-Dubs is when they had the limited time Blue Moon barbecue. That was delicious.
I'm going to speak to a mouthful of salad now.
Speaking for people,
Yeah. Welcome everybody, you've arrived at our mukbang video. But
it's been 10 minutes and
we've accomplished nothing. But so I found that in doing the hot ones challenge, I found that normally the spicier that a sauce gets, the less flavor it has. Like there's some that like are on the lower end of the spectrum and they taste great, but they're not spicy. Whereas
that is true, but it's not always true.
Maybe
The hot wing sauces are really good. Like I tried to apply really, really hot. Like it was in my mouth for like 6 seconds before just like searing pain. Yikes! But it was that 6 seconds was so delicious. And then I was just, like, you know the little hose on the sink that you can like pull out to wash dishes with?
Yeah.
I had that and my head like tilted up and I was just like washing my mouth out with that for 45 minutes.
Yikes. Oh man. I can't imagine. You know, like I generally like spicy food. You know, spicy food is my jam. There's a limit though. Like as a spicy food fanatic, I can say that there is so much to be said for spicy as a flavor additive versus spicy for spectacle. I feel like there's a lot of food out there that's just spicy for spectacle. There's no flavor. You know, you're not gonna eat this like you would eat a meal. You know, it doesn't enhance your experience. It's there literally designed to cause you pain.
It's like that bomb hot sauce. Like if you ever watch the hot ones, they all say it doesn't taste good, it's just hot.
Yeah, it doesn't, and I had that one, and it doesn't taste good. It's just hot. It sucks. But you know, like I said, there was some on the lower end of the spectrum that were actually pretty good, and I enjoyed them. So, like, it is what it is. But what are you watching this week, Dare?
I'm watching YouTubers. YouTubers are famous.
Cool. Which YouTubers? What YouTubers things are they doing?
There's supposed to be Stellaton. She's been doing her streams. There's Puppy. She's been doing her best.
She's been doing her best.
Every time she streams, it's just her versus the chat.
Yikes.
The chat, that's like
Yeah. I mean,
pure chaos.
that sounds exciting, though. It sounds entertaining. As for me, I'm back on anime. This week I've been watching one that my wife has been making me watch. It's called Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Basically, Beauty and the Beast. There's a kingdom of humans, there's a kingdom of beast people that come in all shapes and sizes: dogs, cats, lions, lizards, etc. And basically, the humans live in fear of the beasts because they think that the beasts are bigger, they're stronger, they can hurt you. And the beasts live in fear of the humans because humans in large numbers are scary. And so, the humans, I guess, in an attempt to appease the beasts, what they've been doing traditionally for generations is sacrificing a young maiden to the king of beasts. And as we've come to find, our main character, a girl named Sarafi, is the sacrificial maiden that's been chosen. And because she knew from early on that she was chosen to be the sacrificial maiden, she kind of gave up on life, so to speak. So when she is given over to the King of Beasts, and it turns out that the King of Beasts is not really a bad guy, she kind of decides, I didn't have a life before this, so I'm just gonna try to make a life here in the Kingdom of Beasts. And it's kind of like a really touching tale of like, hey, you know what? Appearances mean nothing. They're, a person may look big, scary, and, intimidating, but they might be harboring a heart of gold. And also, people who look to be really, really average could be harboring the ugliest of hearts. For example, the villagers who thought that it was a good idea to let's just sacrifice a child to a beast. It gets eaten and the rest of us are safe, So it's kind of like that really weird juxtaposition where it's like, yeah, there is such a thing as scary people who are kind, and there is such a thing as normal looking people who are cruel. And it's all of that, and it's really touching, really, really, really heartwarming.
The sacrificial.
Is there more than one?
There should be, if there isn't.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to compare it to something, it reminds me a little bit of the Ancient Magus Bride. But that's mostly because it shares on one theme. Like, the Ancient Magus buys a girl from an auction who has given up on life. She basically volunteered herself to be sold off because she thought that, her life had no meaning. And the Ancient Magus buys her from said auction and determines that he bought her to be his bride eventually. Kind of like it's a lot less fucked up than it sounds. It sounds really fucked up, but it's actually kind of like this ancient being who is a mage and doesn't really understand what it is to be human, because whenever it came into existence, it looked human enough, but it had human essence, but there was something weird about him, and everybody who was a magus around the time that he showed up was like, I feel like you're some kind of either magician or alchemist who tried something really taboo and you fucked yourself up. So now you're neither human nor other. You're just this weird thing. And so it's almost like, he's trying to understand all that. And this one has kind of some parallels, because this girl's given over to the King of Beasts, who will presumably eat her. But then whenever they throw her into the chamber for the king to do whatever, she comes to find out that this king is a little awkward because at the height of, I don't remember if it's the full moon or what, but he stopped being a beast man, and he is in fact just a human, which is weird, and it's not really explained. He kind of like shrugs it off, like there's something wrong with me, and I don't stay a beast man the entire time. Sometimes I'm human, depending on the moon. It's weird. And he sees himself as really inferior because of that. He's like, I'm not a beast all of the time, but at the same time, being human part of the time makes me feel very vulnerable, such that I can understand why humans are afraid of us. So he's kind of like this king who has like this insight of like, okay, well maybe we are big and scary to humans, and maybe we shouldn't be so threatening all the time. Then again, humans are kind of fucked up, and maybe we shouldn't allow that. So he's kind of like towing that line there, and I don't know, our main character just kind of like brings out the best in him, and he just decides, hey, you know what, you were given to me by people, you know, they offered you to me as a sacrifice, so I accept. You are now mine, and what I intend to do is, instead of like eating you, I will just make you my queen. So it's got similar tones with like the Ancient Magus Bride, with the exception that this is a fantasy world, and the Ancient Magus Bride is kind of like this weird, like, takes place in like modern-ish day London or something, you know. So not a
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to marry your food, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to marry your food. However, if them chicken thighs don't start behaving.
Speaking of chicken thighs,
yeah.
I don't know what you have next. I'm hoping it has something with chicken thighs.
Well, there is in fact thighs in this, quite a few actually, and it'll all make sense as soon as the image.
Is this the great update that we all wanted?
No, this is the Atelier Ryza TV anime premieres with a 1 hour special. It's a no, unfortunately not. It is the Atelier Ryza anime. You know, Atelier Ryza being a very popular JRPG. You've probably seen it. Anyone who's a gamer has seen this. You know, like lying around. Even if you're not into RPGs, you probably know of this game. It's been around for a while. Hugely popular. It sounds to me like it's based on the principles of alchemy, because if my understanding on it is correct, you play as some kind of like scientist or something who spends a lot of their time, you know, gathering materials and synthesize, making potions. So, like, that's kind of like what this is all about, and it's, the fact that it's getting an anime is surprising to me, but, you don't, it makes me nervous because a lot of the times whenever animes are adapted from games, they're not the best thing ever. This has a big enough following to where I think that maybe the studio would put some effort into it. Not sure, I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's all I got. Speaking of synthesizing things, oh, I said it.
Speaking of synthesizing things,
you had something that you had told me about, and it's apparently Twitch performed a surgery?
Oh, yeah. I forget about that. I opened up Twitch, so for those of you who are familiar with Twitch Plays,
yeah,
there was a series that they did a while back, and I think they still do it. But Twitch is using like different commands in the chat to move like the video game characters and stuff. Someone set up like a robot. They performed a leg surgery using Twitch chat. Yeah, it was a mannequin, but yeah, it went about as good as you think it worked, where they cut off the mannequin's leg with the saw.
Oh, thank God it was a mannequin. I thought you were going to tell me that it was a real person.
They're practicing for a legal thing. They're doing brain surgery on the person.
I doubt that, but like, holy crap, whenever I saw this, I was like, please tell me it wasn't on a real person. I was like, who greenlit that? That doesn't make any sense.
That was right after it just like completely solved through the things. Like, I was just like, why?
Yeah, like,
Why is this a thing?
giving the average Joe a venture in which they could just do these things seems kind of dumb, but like, let's leave it up to Twitch chat, I guess, to perform life-saving surgery. I'm like, maybe don't do that. You guys remember Twitch plays Pokemon? That was a spectacle.
Remember when Twitch did that open heart surgery and saved a life?
I hope I don't have to remember that. I hope that that's not a thing that needs to happen. Because I don't foresee it ending well. I foresee it going horribly wrong.
Oh yeah, so whoever is getting surgery by Twitch chat is not going to be alive.
No. That's bad. I mean, like, even if they were like, hey, you know what? We'll cover all of the expenses of the surgery. I'd be like, that? No. But speaking of surgery, YouTube has lowered the requirements to join their partner program.
Yes, this is great.
This is great. There's hope for us, Dare. We're 10% of the way there, more or less.
More, probably less, but yeah.
Yeah, but the whole idea is, now instead of 1,000 subscribers, you got to do 500. You got to have 3 public uploads in 30 days, which means like one upload one upload every month, basically. And 3,000 watch hours. Yeah.
Which, I mean, compared to their biggest competitor right now, which is Twitch, it's still steep. Having 500 subs here is like 500 followers on Twitch.
Okay.
Which Twitch requires you to have, I think, 80 hours of stream time within a month. You have to stream like at least 8 times within 30 days, and then I think you have to have an average of 5 viewers and 70 subs.
Yeah.
So it's still a little steep, honestly, but it's much more manageable and doable than having 1,000 subs and like 20 uploads and whatever else it was before.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that I left the playlist out loud. We have to start from the beginning, Dare. We were probably eclipsed by the sound of the music this entire time.
No, that sounded fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you say it sounded fine, well, I mean, right now, because I turned it down. But, like, oh, yikes. There is...
Yeah, I got the stream open. I usually keep the stream open, but have it, like, muted. But I went back and listened, and it's fine.
Okay, well, as long as you say
it's
fine.
A little loud, but I mean, you'd still hear us. It's not... Well, you could probably hear you.
Yeah.
I've had complaints about not being able to hear me because I'm quiet.
Brother Gamma has arrived. He says, take Tisk. I think he meant Tisk. That was...
Don't worry, Gamma. You've missed exactly, like, 2 things.
2 things.
Because we spent, like, the first 30 minutes talking about food.
When is the YouTube thing kicking in? I think it's already live. So 500 subs,
Hopefully.
3 public uploads in 90 days, and 3,000 watch hours. You know what? Let me pull up our statistics. I think that we're mostly there, with the exception of the subs. Well, I can't pull up our statistics because we're presently live streaming, but I think we're mostly there. So like not a huge deal, I'm not like particularly like worried about it, since honestly, getting to hang with you guys is the real joy. But it would be nice to reach partner program status. You know, we could get ourselves some like some sponsors. We can get sponsored by somebody like Raid Shadow Legends. Be neat.
Did I hear you say Raid Shadow Legends?
Yeah.
Sign up with code Bard Smells Feet for 13 free silver pieces and a sock.
And that reminds me, Brother Gamma, which one of us do you think would stand a better chance at winning a challenge of how many atomic flavored wings from Wingstop we can eat? Dare says it's me. I think that Dare has enough gumption in him to beat me at this. The atomic flavored wings being the very, very hottest.
I could probably force myself to eat more than just the one wing, but if we have to eat them and keep them down, I'm not getting past one.
I mean, that is a thing. Something I wanted to say about this is reading the comments on these new YouTube guidelines. A lot of people were very happy with it. A lot of people actually hold YouTube in high regard in regards to taking care of their creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have apparently like just Twitch just seems to kind of alienate the creators a lot. And this is me talking, like being mostly a YouTube creator, so you know, like what the heck do I know?
YouTube is a lot more lenient in what you're allowed to do as far as like Twitch has a very strict policy that you can't be streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time and have them both monetized. So if you're familiar with like, but what's the dude that does Market Watch for Yu-Gi-Oh? It's not Robbie. It's
Nishi.
House of Games.
I was gonna say like MST TV. Nishi does a Market Watch.
There's actually I said that, and I remember there's like 30,000 people do Market Watch. I think it's House of Champs. That's who I'm thinking of.
House of Champs.
Him and Robbie used to stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but they would only have YouTube monetized because YouTube pays out more than Twitch does, and Twitch would also ban them if they were like monetized on Twitch.
Yeah.
So like Twitch is just they're not as user friendly, but I mean it's easier to get your monetization on there.
Yeah, so I can understand that. And it's nice, you know, like being a creator, you always kind of hope for the day that, you know, like your content actually becomes the way that you make your living, right?
Yeah.
And YouTube making it easier is a good thing, you know, like there is so many different creative, you know, people on this platform, and you want to see them succeed. You know, I want to, because nothing is more heartbreaking than a channel that was producing stuff that was just a banger that disappears because they just couldn't push past that final threshold, you know?
Yeah.
And so I love the idea of more channels getting the chance to make their creative dreams become a reality, and if YouTube's willing to work with them for that, I'm all for it, you know? But speaking of being all for something, a classic Fire Emblem title, The Blazing Blade, is coming to the Nintendo Switch. This is, I think, technically Fire Emblem 7, which means that it was one of the ones that came out in the Game Boy Advance era. And on the Nintendo Virtual Console, you can get, you know, classic games, but again, it falls behind a paywall where you have to pay for a subscription. And granted, once you have the subscription, you have access to a huge library of games. You can play whatever you want. And it's, yearly speaking, it's a rather small subscription. I think it was $40. But gosh, imagine, you know, like I'm paying $40 to play a large library of Nintendo Game Boy Advance games. And it's kind of like what you, me and Wilo talked about on the last time whenever he was on for the anime dub opening bangers, where he has the service which, you know, allows him to play classic games, and he thinks that it's worth it. Me, on the other hand, who doesn't, there isn't a lot of classic games that I would like to play. I wonder if it would be worth it for me. I mean, like, it would kind of be of a gamble of whether or not I would find something that I'd never played before that I actually end up enjoying quite a bit. Or, like, is there enough games in there that I would have liked to have played back in the day but never got the chance, and now I have the opportunity to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Did you die?
Did I die? Have you?
Did, you were just like saying something and then you just abruptly stopped saying stuff. I was like, what?
No, I just reached the end of my thought train, is what happened. So yeah, like that's where I'm at on this. I just, I like the idea of being able to play the Blazing Blade, particularly because I never did so back in the day. It sounds like it would be fun. I don't like the idea of paying $40, and
There's like a handful of old games. Like I'm not too familiar with old Nintendo games. Like I played the original like Mario and stuff, but like as far as old games go, I want to see like the old Microsoft stuff.
right.
Like there was a game called Microsoft Urban Assault, and it was like it's an RTS that you could like spawn tanks in, and then you could jump into the tanks and drive the tanks, and it's so cool for the time. But like the graphics look like shit now, and I want to see like a bunch of old stuff like come back with 2023 graphics.
Yeah, and Lurkbraun,
Which,
hello.
which I mean, we are getting Starship Trooper.
That's,
Starship Trooper's a new game that's coming out.
oh, I was unaware of that. That's new. But you
You
arrived
can,
just in time, Lurkbraun. No worries. Like taking care of your grandmother takes priority. So I'm happy that you were doing that. You were saying, there?
yeah, the new Starship Trooper game is pre-access right now, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's nothing like the old Starship Trooper game, which was really bad.
Yeah.
But then again, Starship Trooper was really bad.
I guess that depends on who you ask. I remember the movie
they were
fondly.
purposely made bad to be good.
Well, yeah, like sometimes the movie is so bad that it's good. But in regards to this particular game, I guess you arrived just in the nick of time to hear the Fire Emblem news. It comes out on June 23rd onto the Nintendo Virtual Console, so it's exciting. I might look into it, And Starship Troopers was great.
The original Starship Troopers was great.
Yeah.
The sequels were horrible.
Yeah.
They found success with their first shitty movie, and they're like, let's do it again 8 times.
There is like a bug flying around here in my office, and it's driving me freaking nuts. Like, I'm so upset by it.
There's a bug that was bothering me earlier, too. Must be a thing. Maybe the universe is trying to tell us something.
It's summertime. Summertime loving in the summertime.
Summertime sadness.
And speaking of summertime,
Overwatch.
more news about Overwatch.
Yay!
It's like this is the train wreck that just keeps on wrecking. It's like
I think the last time I said Overwatch is the new Fallout 76, and they're proving me correct with my statement, because holy shit, not being able to
we can't do the PvE. Oh wait, we're gonna release the PvE as side missions, like Junkenstein's
but
Revenge.
you have to pay $15.
And now it's like we have to pay $15, which is something that I should look into. Did they refund the players who pre-ordered the PvE missions? Because if they didn't, this is ridiculous.
Oh, you know they didn't.
Oh, there's no. I gotta go look at that right now. I'm like, did Blizzard refund PvE Overwatch 2? Okay, so according to GameTweak.com, It is unlikely that you can get a refund on your purchases for the PvP element of the game. Well, that does say PvP. Does over to if you recently purchased Overwatch League tokens? No, it doesn't. Nobody's talking about it.
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say they are not getting refunded.
Yeah, so
Like that's a very on par Blizzard thing to do with how
can you get a refund on Overwatch
they've
2?
been handling this whole thing.
Nothing has been officially announced. The answer is most likely no.
Like it's just been
Dog,
it's literally a replay of Fallout 76, except this was a game.
Come on.
This is a game that like existed prior, and it's just blowing up on itself.
Yikes. I mean, like, I have never seen something implode this hard. Lurkbron says, we better get a 6 story. And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, dude, like, the story in this game better be good. Because Overwatch 1 released in 2016. And they kept... And in 2016, the story didn't advance very much. The lore didn't advance very much. So whenever Overwatch 2 was released, and we had, answers to a lot of, like... to a lot of things that were set up in Overwatch 1, and the director at the time, Jeff Kaplan, being like, I'm looking to expand this universe's lore. I was all for it. I'm a lore whore, as we know. So, I was like, yes, let's do it. Like, tell me the story of Overwatch. And now it's like, oh yeah, the PvE, which was supposed to be basically story mode campaign. No. But you know what? Yes. But you know what? That'll be $15, please. I'm just
remember that event that we released prior and it was free. It's not going to cost you money to play that event again.
I love how their whole thing is like Overwatch 2 is going to be free to play. And now it's like, on second thought, no.
See, Overwatch was such a good game.
It was.
And then they were like, we're bringing out Overwatch 2 and it's going to be great. And everyone was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I
just like when Fallout was like, hey, you guys want to explore West Virginia? Yeah.
Mount
with
Mama.
Your friends? Yeah.
Take me home.
Dumpster fire.
Country roads.
First, 10 minutes I spawned into Fallout 76, there's just some, child yelling on their mic about their mother's adult toy.
Oh, boy.
And I was just like, this is not Fallout. I went, closed out of the game, and I was like, I kind of want to ask for my money back, but...
Yikes. Dude, I just can't with Overwatch anymore, dude. Every time that I want to stop talking about them, they go and do something ridiculous just to bring me back. I was like, okay, I used to keep coming back because I was passionate about the game. Now I keep coming back because for some reason you have something new that's just going catastrophically wrong every week.
And that's literally what happened with Fallout. If you still go to their Instagram page, every time they post here's a new update, it's just a bunch of people coming back just to hate on you and say, stop working on this game, go to Fallout 5. And it's like, dude, this isn't the same Bethesda that works on Fallout. It's
no.
A little small company portion of Bethesda.
Oh my gosh, this is such a nightmare. But
it's great though. I love it. It's a dumpster fire. I love dumpster fires.
In changing gears, the Konosuba game called Love for These Clothes of Desire will be releasing on all platforms: PS4, Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox, etc., etc. So, there's an announcement trailer that
have they said what it is?
I'm so happy that you asked, because I'm looking at the blurb here, and here's what it says. P-Cube describes the game. Follow Kazuma and company as they discover a mysterious I'm a voice actor, everyone. As they discover a mysterious black slab with the ability to create magical outfits that curse the wearer with new, intense desires. The girls must wear each of these outfits and fulfill these desires to break the curse and complete their quest. Are you ready to meet Darkness as the ruthless dominatrix? How about Aqua as the prim and proper goddess? Or Megumin as the proud leader of the lowly brigade?
I got really scared for a moment because it was like, this sounds like a game that's not going to be acceptable on Steam unless you have an account that is 18 plus.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Like, and
They have to wear these cursed clothes until they defeat the desire that's locked with. What?
and you know, Konosuba.
Darkness, the dominatrix. What?
Konosuba has never been one of those anime that, you know, was like exactly like family friendly. I mean, there's a lot of like innuendo. There's a lot of like really fucked up scenarios in it.
But it was tongue in cheek with everything, right?
Yeah, it was tongue in
never
cheek.
like overtly lewd just because it's like, oh, there's sexual tension between these two characters. Let's feed the fire. It was like, ha ha ha, funny ha ha moment, and you laugh. It wasn't like a, oh wow, this is. I hope this stops getting worse.
Yeah, because this is wow, you know.
It's like, wow, Mom, don't walk in. I swear, it's not what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like, Mom. This is a comedy game about the comedic antics.
I swear.
Excuse me, got a mouthful of salad here. But that's exciting. I mean, like, it kind of seems like Kazuma's taking like a back seat on this, or he's the protagonist trying to help the other ones through their mishaps, through their shenanigans. I don't know.
I when they actually like say what type of game it is, I may think about it.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a graphic novel thing, no, I ain't gonna read.
Right.
You can't make me read.
Well, what if it's voice acting?
What are words? I ain't gonna read no damn words.
We're talking about how, you know, it's a comedy game and it's not like a lewd and horny game. And Lurk Brown in the chat says, sure, and our romance game won't be the same. Wink, wink. Stay tuned. 2024, the battle phase. What's it called? Otome game where Bard and Dare are the only choices.
Starting Dare. Dare is going to be streaming Sakura Spirit on the battle phase.
Yeah.
What's Sakura Spirit? Don't look it up.
Yeah, you know, like don't look it up. You don't need to know. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't get your hopes up either. But yeah, if it's like a RPG or something, I may look into it. But I don't want to do like a
you know, like especially because Konosuba is set up to be such a fun RPG, you know, because you have a mage, you have a paladin, you have a goddess who's a healer, I guess, and then you have your main character who's a thief. I'm like, imagine like a good RPG with the Konosuba characters with just like excellent writing. I would be all for it.
Like the thing I loved about Konosuba that like made me love the anime so much was the fact that it was a really good, like, it's your typical, like, it's like your typical like D&D group.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like the shittiest form of every class.
Right. Like all of them are exactly the worst.
You have the tank that wants to be killed.
Like you have the tank that
you have the sorcerer, like the druid sorceress that is incredibly stupid. You have the mage that knows a single spell that she can use once a day.
Yes.
And it's just like, wow, how could this get any worse? We have a rogue that is just bad at everything except for luck.
Yeah, like his luck is fantastic, but everything else is so bad. And I love, so in case you've never seen it before, Lurk Braun, this is the exact premise. So our tank, Darkness, it's not that she's depressed, it's that she loves pain.
She's it's not masochist, it's
Yeah.
sadist,
Yeah,
right?
no, sadist is the one where you like to inflict pain. Masochist is the one where you
Where you like,
enjoy.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what she is. And Megumi knows one single very powerful spell,
Explosion!
but she can only use it once a day. Aqua, the
And
goddess.
after using it, she's rendered completely
Yeah,
useless because
completely
she's like
immobile, yes.
paralyzed.
Aqua is the goddess and the healer, and all of her stats are insanely high, but she is
Because
just.
she is a god.
But she is so dumb. Like her
She has
intelligence
below,
stat is
I think
so.
it was below average intelligence.
It was way
Because
below average, yeah. I love that one episode where Kazuma just has like this really like really a compassionate look on his face. He's just like so sad for her, and he's like, "Poor thing. No matter how much she levels up, her intelligence just stays so low." Just like, gosh, this
well,
is.
like the like first episode where he actually gets isekai'd, and she's like just being an asshole to him, and he's like, she says, "You could take one thing with you," and he's just slick. He's just like, "I'm taking you."
Yeah. Yeah. How do you like them apples? Oh man, it's a fun anime. Honestly, like it's definitely something that I wasn't expecting. Like I don't know what I was expecting, but like isekai is just like so pervasive in like the anime landscape right now that like every time you see one, it's really hard for them to do things differently from one another. I almost feel like as an anime, if you want to stand out, don't be an isekai. Like be something completely original, something brand new, something with your own rules, very imaginative. Because what the hell is so wrong with fantasy that you have to put like a character from our world into it? Like half the fun in fantasy is exploring interesting worlds with different cultures and what do you call it, abilities and like magic systems and currencies and like even the politics. So I'm like, I want to see a return to form with fantasy anime where it is just fantastic. And it almost it bothers me a little bit that that's just not something that we're willing to entertain. If you go into an anime that's going to have fantasy elements, you have to have somebody who ended up there and knows how to cheat the system. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's I completely agree with that. Like, but at the same time, like to me, isekai animes have gotten like kind of like repetitive because I want to see something new.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
everyone gets isekai'd into like the Middle Ages and old fantasy world. It's why can't we go to like Kamigawa Dynasty Neon 2025 year of the
Oh, that's
Neon Samurai?
interesting. Like being isekai'd into a futuristic world as opposed to a classic fantasy one. Ah, very interesting. I like the sound of that. That's a like reverse Futurama, Futurama, but like
That's Futurama.
yeah, Futurama. That would
It's
be
literally
freaking
just Futurama at this point.
yeah, dragged into the future. That'd be freaking great. Gamma says, "Oh my God, it's your Mothman, Bard. What's he talking about?"
Yeah, but he fucking did this on purpose, and I was just gonna let him go for as long as he could. I was just gonna ignore it, but you got it. You had to just like call it out. He, he,
Oh
like,
no, how did that get in there?
you fucking stuck it up there, knowing damn well what you were doing, and then you just kept talking about isekai. And it's just like, I'm not gonna say anything. Just I'm gonna see how long he can hold it together without
I don't.
or anything.
Oh, I can hold it together for very long. I promise. But like, speaking of Mothman, Crunchyroll will show 20 series premieres at Anime Expo 2023, and I've come
20 series premieres. Is this their premieres?
Yeah, so like anime premieres, yes.
Well, I mean, is this like Crunchyroll originals, like the
No,
Spider one, or
no, probably not. Probably stuff that they have licensed. So
Okay, yeah.
probably not Crunchyroll originals, but definitely things that fall into the Crunchyroll license. And I have a list here, so I'm just gonna read some of them
I was
off here
gonna
for you.
say that's impressive if they're just releasing 20 fucking new anime.
Oh no, that would be freaking great. So on July 1st, 2023, there's actually quite a few here. So we have Malevolent Spirits Monogatari Core 2, Episode 1. We also have Masamune-kun's Revenge R, Episode 1. And Sweet Reincarnation, Episode 1. I think all of these are going to be episode ones with the exception of ones that are continuing. So on July 2nd, they're going to have Bungo Stray Dogs Season 5, Episode 1. We're going to have Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2, Episode 1, which I've spoken of Mushoku Tensei before. What's the other one? One Piece Episode 1000, which is something that we meant to cover in a previous episode, but it was one of those things that kind of fell by the wayside. The 1000th episode of One Piece dub is going to be simul-aired all over the place. So everywhere is going to have access to this episode because they want to have the biggest opening weekend for this thing as possible. Or either that or I'm remembering that miscorrectly, and what I meant to say is it's going to be premiering at Anime Expo 2023. I think that's what I meant to say. Never mind, I'm confused. But other things that we got here is Link Click Season 2, Episode 1. I've never heard of Link Click. I might look into that. And then on July 3rd, we have MF Ghost, Episode 1. I don't know what MF stands for. Don't ask me. My unique skill makes me OP even at level 1, Episode 1. And probably an example of like isekai anime like at its finest, because that title is precisely everything that isekai is. The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3 Episode 1. I hope that Season 3 is better than Season 2. Ayaka Episodes 1 and 2. And Sugar Apple Fairy Tale Season 2, which I recently started watching Sugar Apple Fairy Tale with the wife, and it's it's cute. It's cute. But so that's a list. Oh wait, hold on, there's more.
Oh no.
Is there really this many? Holy crap. Undead Murder Farce, Episode 1. Gridman Universe, Episode 1. Firefighter, Daigo of Fire Company M, Episode 1. I Shall Survive Using Potions, Episode 1, which sounds like an isekai to me too. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence, Episode 1. That almost sounds like a Downton Abbey type like BBC creation. Let's see. July 4th, we have Free, The Final Stroke, Part 2. We have I'm in Love with the Villainess, Episodes 1 and 2. And Rent a Girlfriend, Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2.
That is a lot of premieres of anime that I've never heard of.
I'm sure you've heard of Rising of the Shield Hero and Rent a Girlfriend. We brought them up in this exact...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I know the Shield Hero one. That's the girl that like just goes defense with everything, and it's amazing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the one. So, yeah.
It's like the best build.
It's
being invulnerable to damage, but do 0 damage yourself.
It's pretty great. It was a compelling plot, so I mean, like, yeah, it's pretty exciting. And it's not, it's fun, you know, like that we're having all of these premieres. I like big anime seasons with a lot of anime to watch, because then if you run into the inevitable bad ones, you can just say, I don't want to watch that anymore. I want to watch a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of good anime, Battles of Legend: Monsters Revenge is releasing this coming week? Question mark?
I believe it releases the 23rd, and holy shit, this set has a lot of really cool stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of really needed reprints, but at the same time, it has a couple new archetypes in it.
What are the new archetypes, do you know?
It's got like the I think they're new archetypes. I don't know. They have like new reptile support. They have the rooks and pawn, like the chess archetype thing. They have the reptile stuff,
Tell you the things that I'm
and there's like
excited
one
for.
more.
I'm excited for the reprint at long freaking last of Rite of a Ramesir and Water
Oh yeah,
Enchantress of the Temple.
yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they both like limited or something though? So it's
No,
like useless.
not in the TCG, no.
They're not.
No. They're
Oh.
limited on Master Duel, but like on the
I thought
TCG,
they were limited, and that's why no one played them anymore.
nah, nobody plays them anymore because it's like
Oh,
super easy to get around it. But like, what was I gonna say? So we have the reprint of Rite of Aramesir. We have the reprint of Water Enchantress of the Temple. Let's go! You know, like these were a really expensive engine. They don't do much these days, but you know, like it was a really expensive engine for a long time. A couple of other things, you know, like Welcome Labyrinth, which was like my expense.
that's a 25th anniversary secret rare
Yeah,
that it
which
get.
which is exciting, but I feel like the pull rates on that are going to be pretty much like the same thing as a Starlight, so I'm not holding my breath on getting any one of them. Um, we have we had other reprints that were exciting. I think it was the Punk engine. We have Ogre Dance, we have Shirakusai, Xiamen. Uh,
There was the one math mech card, which it's like, why would you just reprint the one when you could reprint like what was it? Diameter was a really good one. That
yeah,
Nablo was a really good one.
yeah. We have Foxy Tune, which is being reprinted. We have Amazing Dragon. We have some Adolce cards like Queen Tiramisu. We
We
have
have new Performapal stuff.
new Performapal stuff. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, Sakitama, and a bunch of stuff. You know, like
Now, did they reprint or they reprinted two of the spirits?
mhm.
I don't remember if it was Sakitama and Nikitama or if it was Aritama and Sakitama.
Sakitama is the only one that I'm seeing. I'm presently scrolling through
There's two of them. There's
yeah,
two of them.
yeah. Uh, so I'm all I'm seeing is the those. There's a rocket coder card, so I mean there's rockets in here. I mean like this is chock full of just like so much stuff. We have a ghost archetype that I've never seen before. So we have like what is it? Ghost Lancer, the Underworld Spearman, um,
There's three monsters to that: a fusion card and something else.
Ghost Sleeper,
But
Underworld Princess, and there's
I'm
another
thinking
one.
about trying to put those into a deck.
They got new spider stuff because I'm seeing here like
Oh yeah, there's like the mother spider or something like that.
yeah,
I remember,
Mother
and
Spider
then
and
it
Baby
has
Spider.
baby spider.
Yeah. So that's exciting, you know, and then just like
And then there's the DDDD Super Dimensional Sovereign Emperor King
I
Paradox.
literally just ran across that one, the card with the longest name in history. Yes. We got a couple of
It's not
Mathmix.
that great.
We got Mathmic Equation and Mathmic Sigma. So just like it is chock full of just good stuff, and that's exciting. You know, like I like this. This is a set that I probably will get a bunch of because
Okay, fucking listen to how this card is.
mhm,
So we'll start with the monster effect.
mhm,
Cannot be normal summon slash set. Must be special summoned by its own effect. When you pendulum summon a monsters,
mhm,
and the total pendulum scales of the cards in your pendulum zones are higher than the summoned or higher than the total levels of the pendulum summoned monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand.
mhm.
And if you do, destroy as many other cards on the field as possible. Then you can place this card in your pendulum zone once per turn if another face up DDD monsters you control leaves the field by spell effect. This card's attack becomes 6,000.
Yeah. And just real quick, I'm pulling up like the quarter century starlights here. Let's see what we got.
They look so good.
They do.
Like I want to get a playset of the blue eyes so I can like use those in my blue eyes deck.
We have IP Masquerena. We have the Bestial Lubellion. And then for some reason it just does not mention any of the others. Why?
I know.
I know that Lady Labyrinth is one. Uh,
Um, yeah, Lady Labyrinth is one.
mhm.
Um,
Dark Arm Dragon?
Dark Arm Dragon, Welcome Labyrinth.
Yeah. So yeah, but this is a fun. Oh man, like Sky Striker Ace Azalea is already going up. Yep. Sky Striker Mobilize Engage, but I already have Mobilize Engage. I have all the Mobilize Engage I need.
Oh yeah, all the Sky Striker stuff came out in this. They have, I think, what, 4 or 5 new cards?
Yeah, I saw a couple
Like,
of yeah. But yeah, so this is shaping up to be a fantastic set, and I'm excited for it. I thought that it was still further out. I didn't know that it was coming out like literally, like next week. That's exciting to me.
yeah, it's hopefully gonna be really good.
Hopefully,
It's got catty corn in it.
yeah.
We didn't even mention catty corn.
No, because we have other things to discuss here, like for example the new Ogdoadics.
Catty corn though.
Yeah, catty corn is a lot cuter than giant darkness snakes.
Catty corn.
Catty corn, not darkness reptiles.
Oh, did you say that right over Aramesir and Water Enchants was for quarter century? Because those are quarter century.
Oh,
So it's
snap.
IP and Divine Arsenal Zeus and Tolmaeus and Dante and Dark Arm Dragon
So it looks like they're just
and
going down the line and choosing like iconic monsters and just making them.
X-Tox Hydra,
Yeah. Uh,
Assault Synchron, Arm Neos.
Lurk Braun says, "Pet the catty corn."
In case you didn't notice, I found the list of the things.
No, I can tell. Uh, it'd be nice if you could pull one per box, but I doubt that very much.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if you could do that, but at the same time, it would make them worthless. Anyway, new snake dudes.
New snake dudes. You read the effects on these things?
I haven't, but I'm assuming that like they are good because the archetype is currently not good.
So basically, like, I was looking on Reddit whenever these were announced, and people's take on it seemed to be really positive. A lot of people, like, upon hearing what they do, were like, "Oh wow, that's actually pretty good." So what we have here is Nefertibus, the Ogdoadic deity, is the monster. It is a level 10 reptile, 2200 attack, 3100 defense, and basically it's got two effects. The first one says, if a monster is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, which Ogdoadics love to fuck around with that, while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. Also, until the end of next turn, you can out special summon monsters with the exception of reptiles. And then the second effect says, if you control this card that was special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one monster in your graveyard except Nefertibus, the Ogdoadic deity, special summon it. And they have a bunch of like boss monsters that would just love to go to the graveyard. So Nefertibus, the moment you special summon it from the graveyard, is happy to bring one of them with it. Some people have been mentioning that since this is a level 10 and the other big boss of the Ogdoadics is also a level 10, that opens you up for doing a lot of damage. And if you can't manage to close the game during that battle phase, you can go into main phase 2 and finish it with rank 10 trains.
Yeah, I think it was Save Shooter was asking me the other day if there was like a card that shuffled back the graveyard, and I was like, I mean, Exodius does, but that's a rank 10 train.
Yeah, rank 10.
What?
Rank 10 trains.
Exodius is the best rank 10 train.
That's right. So if it's a Bible long, is it good? What's a Bible long?
If the text is a Bible long.
Oh.
Like if the text is a lot.
Not necessarily.
I was gonna say, in some instances, yes. In most
Sometimes yes.
instances, no.
Most of the time, no, no. And it's something that I've said before is like Yu-Gi-Oh cards can look really intimidating because they're so wordy. But you know, one of the things to keep in mind is a lot of the times the cards have two effects. So you all you really need to know is the effect, what does it do? And then the rest of
And the
it is just
condition that it activates.
exactly. The rest of it is just conditions. You know, like did this happen? Yes, you can use the effect. Did this happen? No. Okay, you can't use the effect. You know, so like it's
Unless
yeah, unless there's always an unless. So every card has one or two effects. The rest of it is like activation conditions and restrictions. The most common restriction being like this can only be used once per turn. And the spell card, a quick play spell, says you can tribute one reptile monster, special summon one Ogdoadic token, which is a reptile dark level 2, attack 0, defense 0, for every 2 levels it had. And most Ogdoadics have like really high levels. So like if you tributed, say, Nefertibus here, which is a level 10, with this...
you get 5.
You get 5, which opens you up for so many Link shenanigans. And then...
I thought you were going to say you could make so many Xyz monsters.
Yes. And then the second effect says...
Was that you?
That was me.
Was that you?
That was me.
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah, that was me. So the second effect says, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished reptile monsters and shuffle it into the deck. Then you can send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's a foolish burial with extra steps. It's a soul charge, kind of. It's like a scapegoat, kind of. And a foolish burial with extra steps. Both are effects that you kind of really, really like. And additionally, reptiles have like a lot of tuners because of like what are they called? The reptilians. And so reptilians is being capable of special summoning themselves as tuners. Plus all of these free tokens. I mean, this has synchro spam, link spam on it, written on it for days.
But what about the synergy with Venom Swamp?
It practically non-existent.
I want that archetype to get some form of love.
Write a letter to Konami.
I'm hoping that if I can read, I'm hoping that like looking at the new like reptile support in the set that's coming out next week, I'm hoping that like does something for the archetype.
One can hope, yes. I don't know, you know, like, because it's been a while, dude. I mean, like, things from GX have gotten support. Armed Dragons have gotten support. Ojamas have gotten support. Heroes get support all the time. Cyber Dragons. And Venom Swamp was a GX archetype, and the fact that they haven't touched it, with the exception of a couple of things that are like lore related, like Apophis the swamp deity, or you know, like
Apophis is that's a what's his face card, Odeon.
Yeah, but so, and you also have like what do you call it? There's cards that show up with Digreffer fighting Venomenaga, you know, and so like
because it's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But like that's like one of the original towers in Yu-Gi-Oh! And they don't do anything.
Well,
they could give a new card that summons Venomenaga easier.
That they could.
And then buy out Snake Rain again.
And that's I remember when people bought out Snake Rain because of Venomenaga. So
Dude,
or not Venomenaga, but Ogdoadics, yes.
Yeah, Ogdoadics is just like
Snake Rain skyrocketed in price bed.
And it's just like, dude, you know they're going to reprint Snake Rain in this set. Why are you buying it out? It's just like the Bear Grylls meme of, oh, snakes, their sun's going down, time to drink my own piss. Because it's like every time anything, if Konami was like a new reptile, Snake Rain, buy it out.
Yeah, a new reptile. So I'm glad you're bringing up Red Eyes, Brother Gamma, because yes, The definitive edition Red Eyes Black Dragon first four figure is here. And have you seen the trailer for this thing, Dare?
I have not.
It is. It is cool as balls, baby. This thing
It's
is.
a foot tall.
It is. It is very tall. Yes, it is almost as tall as my Blue Eyes White Dragon statue, but just a little bit
For-
shorter because fuck Red Eyes.
This thing's huge. It's a
Yeah.
foot tall, foot wide.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
fucking
not
massive.
quite sure what is D for depth.
Yeah,
Like,
like so it's like volume, right? Like height, width, and depth. Yes. But
oh,
yeah,
okay, so it's like a foot across. Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah. So kind of cubical, like the dimensions that they're giving you. Uh, so here's the cool thing about it. And I don't know if you've seen figures by first four figures before, but like they don't half-ass it. They go really hard into the detail, up
I'm
to
assuming it's like pop-up parade.
up to and including a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't think of doing. So, like for example, the Blue Eyes White Dragon the statue that I have, came in two different varieties. It came in the silver one that's the one that you see in the anime, and it came in a white one that's the kind that you see in the manga. So, like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can have the anime one or you can have the other one. And the figure that you're seeing here is actually the deluxe one, right? So, I don't know if you can tell, but like there's something on the base that's kind of lit up, and that's its level. So on the base, it has its level that lights up. It has its attack, its defense, its attribute, all that. And just beneath its feet, there's kind of like lava, like it's coming out of a volcano, and that lava lights up, and it has two different modes. It has like a static light up mode or like a lava light up mode where it kind of like dims and brightens and dims and brightens, kind of like a lava lamp. And additionally, if you look to the left, like a little bit off from where its foot is on the base, it's the red stone of legend.
Huh.
Yeah, so these.
That is more. I don't need to know how much it is to know that it's too expensive.
My Blue Eyes White Dragon was like about $170.
Too expensive.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, they're expensive.
When you were up here, did the shop, when you came and visited, did the shop have the like Yu-Gi-Oh statues?
I don't remember seeing them.
They have like 2 foot tall Exodia and Winged Dragon of Ra statues.
I've seen the Wind Dragon of Ra here in town. There's a couple of anime shops near me, and they do stock all three Egyptian gods, and those are massive, and they're also really expensive at $300 a pop. So
They got multiple of the Winged Dragon of Ra and Obelisk. They had Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, and I think they had 2 Blue Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was just like, I really want to buy the Dark Magician Girl, but it's like $500.
Kind of the same, yeah. So like, the First Four actually has made several dual monster statues with Blue Eyes White Dragon. They have 2 different Dark Magicians. Also, they have like the Yugi one, the Dark Magician, the regular one that and they also have like the one with the green skin. Like
The Arcana?
no,
one?
not the Arcana one, but you know how like Dark Magician has like 2 different artworks, where it's
Is it like the Bandai green skin one, or
no, like there's 2 different artworks. You have like the one where he's kind of like leaping at the camera, right, and then you have the one where he's just standing with his arms crossed, where his skin is green.
oh the I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'll send you a picture. So they have both of those Dark Magicians.
They have two different pictures, right? And it's like, or they actually have like 13 different arts.
Right,
I don't know which
right.
ones you're talking about.
So they have both of those Dark Magicians. They have several different Dark Magician girls. One that's got like balloons behind her.
The tablet art.
Right, the tablet art.
Okay.
They have Balloon Dark Magician Girl. They have Karibo Dark Magician Girl, which I was like, like here's the thing. I'm not a fan of like a lot of Dark Magician Girl stuff because I feel like she's overplayed. But that statue looks sick as hell. Because like instead of the balloons that the other one has, it's all of the Kuribos. So, like Kuriba, Kuribi, Kuri, those guys. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
the
oh,
Curry brothers.
yeah, the Curry brothers. And I was like, that's awesome. I was like, I don't want to do Dark Magician Girl, but I would do this one. This is great. So they've done all of those. They're doing Red Eyes now. And they don't just do Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. They have like Cowboy Bebop statues. They have a really cool Sonic Adventure one that I saw the other day. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty sick. And a bunch of other stuff. So like they do really clean looking figures. And you did mention the pop-up parade, and
Yeah.
it kind of like pop-up parade, except these guys put like a bunch of LEDs and shit in their statues, so they actually look really really good. And I see Lurk Bronze all like, oh yeah, like Sonic Adventure. Yeah, the Sonic Adventure one is literally the cover to Sonic Adventure. So it's Sonic in that stance where like the way he looks on the cover of Sonic Adventure. It's actually pretty cool. So yeah, pretty dope. And as always, I'm happy to see a bunch merch that isn't Blue Eyes Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Red Eyes is on the line, and simply because not a lot of people care.
I just looking this up, I found a new game called Dice Masters, and they have so many different like they have a WWE Dice Masters pack, D&D teams, Marvel, Dark Phoenix. I want the WWE because the one they have is like tag teams, and all I seen was like Big E and then Roman Reigns, and I was like, I want this.
Yeah. So, moving on from the Red Eyes, this is
I give you so much shit for getting distracted, and here I am looking at dice.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy to get distracted.
Just want to apologize to you, Bert. I didn't mean to yell at you.
No, it's fine. But
you do turn a 1 hour show into a 3 hour show.
I do.
I love you.
So additionally, this is probably like the last thing that we got for today. Sad news. Like last week we talked about the Iron Sheik passing away, and today, John Romita Sr. passed away. If you're not familiar with John Romita, if you've ever seen like a Marvel comic from like the early days, this is the guy who drew them. So John Romita has been a comic book artist for a long, long time. Like, his son is following in his footsteps too. I follow them on Instagram, and his son John Romita Jr. also works for Marvel Comics.
The image left. The image is no.
Well, the reason why is because I posted a picture of his artwork on there. Yeah, so he did Spider-Man, he's done X-Men, he's done the whole gamut of Marvel heroes. So if you've seen this type of artwork, this is John Romita. So yeah, he's responsible for bringing a lot of the early icons to life. A lot of like what do you call it? The way that they look, it was kind of like he had a lot of input into it. So kind of like a comic book legend, and he passed away.
Like, when Stan Lee passed away.
A little bit like when Stan Lee passed away. Yes. For some reason, Stan Lee got a lot more of the community behind him, simply because he wasn't just like an artist. He was also kind of like the writer. So
he also like put himself in the stuff too.
And he also put himself in the stuff. So yeah. So like
the way you said that, it makes it sound like he's some kind of like drug dealer or something. Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Stanley, he did cameos in his own movies.
So, just a little blurb about him here from Wikipedia says, he was an American comic book artist, best known for his work on Marvel Comics' The Amazing Spider-Man, for co-creating characters including Mary Jane Watson, Punisher, Wolverine, and Luke Cage. Romita was the father of John Romita Jr., also a comic book artist, and a husband, and for many years, Marvel's traffic manager. His first comics work was in 1949 as a ghost artist for Timely Comics, which is what Marvel was before they became Marvel, the precursor to Marvel, and that's where he met editor-in-chief Stan Lee. Let's see. Does it tell us? He joined Marvel in 1965, drawing Daredevil. In 1966, when Spider-Man artist and co-creator Steve Ditko left Marvel, Romita was chosen by Stan Lee as the new artist for The Amazing Spider-Man. And let's see, promoted. Blah, blah, blah. He was inducted into the Will Eisner Comic Book Hall of Fame in 2002. Died in June 12th, 2023, at 93 years old, and it doesn't tell us why.
Holy shit, 93.
Yeah.
That's quite a fucking life to live.
Died in his sleep at the age of 93. They don't tell you the specifics of it, but yeah, like
this is probably just old age then.
Probably just old age, yeah. So he's a comic book legend. He did a lot of work, and yeah. So rest in peace, John Romita Sr. He's one of the originals.
He was a true G.
He was a true G. Created a lot of characters that are still around.
Him and Sheik are up in the great beyond, looking down, calling people out for being fucking jabronis. Did you ever read the Sheik's Twitter posts?
I did not know.
Every other thing was like, this person's a fucking jabroni. Iron Sheik is the best. It's just like, dude, you need to have Twitter taken away from you.
So, Dare, I meant to bring this up the other day, and I can't believe I forgot. But, we're all familiar with the fact that I always bring up that we're the Oni bros and we're the bronies, etc. But I'm like, why not the jabronies?
Because the jabroni's not a good thing either.
We can make it a good thing. We're the jabronis.
A jabroni is just, that's what The Rock called a jobber. And a jobber is just someone who is their job to be beaten up.
I see. So that's what we are from now on.
God damn it.
Yeah, so yeah, trying not to sign off on a sad note here because it is a bit of sad news. Las Vegas police capture light falling from the sky on dash cam before family claims a 10-foot tall creature was seen in their backyard.
Yeah. Fuck you. You put that up there. It's just like, I'm gonna just keep talking and see what Dare does. And I was like, I'm not gonna fucking talk about it at all.
I'm not gonna acknowledge the damn thing.
It was Lurkbraun, but one of them was like, what? Mothman?
Yeah, it was Gamma. He's like, oh, it's Mothman, and you're just like, I didn't want to acknowledge a damn thing.
See, everyone gets on to me, and they're like, wow, you should stop gaslighting, and then this is the shit that I have to deal with. You see why I fucking gaslight all the time? It's because of this.
Yes. But, yeah, so that's all of our stuff for today. You guys showed up just after I had realized that our sound was all fucked, so you got to hear us. There's a good solid chunk at the beginning of this podcast where I didn't realize that the music was too loud. So yeah, you missed out.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, you missed out on the ramble of me talking about the anime that I was watching. You missed out on the ramble about spicy food and why we think that there is a delicate balance to be had between spice and flavor. Too much spice makes it gross. But too much flavor means that it's not.
My story of my friend falling in love with a Chinese man.
Yeah.
That he was a Chinese woman.
Yeah. So, but you know what? You live and you learn. Me personally, I just take longer to learn than others.
Bard was not the friend.
No, I was not the friend.
You bad at segues, Bart.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I made it sound like it was me when I was saying you live and you learn about setting your settings properly, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. I guess I probably will be editing the nasty part off of the beginning of this video just to make it a little more
Nah, it's
palatable.
fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
But we'll be back on Sunday with our episode titled "I Can't Believe It's Not Isekai," where I will be pitching Dare some plot lines from popular anime without telling him the titles because the titles would be dead giveaways. And just from the bare bones plot, he has to tell me, is this an isekai or not?
The week after, we're going to do I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, where I will be giving Bard sticks of butter, and he has to eat them and determine if they are butter or not.
Yes. I have a 50-50 chance unless you somehow just feed me all butter.
That may be a possibility.
But yeah, so like until next time, guys, I have been the Midnight Bard. He has been the Dare Bear. Yes. And thank you for watching. We will catch you on Sunday. Adios.
Bye.